If you're thinking about retirement, you need to avoid these 3 costly Social Security mistakes. Let's dive right in. First one, forgetting to apply for spousal benefits. Spousal benefits are one of the greatest things about Social Security. In its simplest form, a spouse who may not be entitled to much of a benefit can receive half of their spouse's Social Security benefit. Let's take a look at one of the most common scenarios. If a wife is entitled to $500 a month from Social Security, but her husband is entitled to $2,000 a month, the wife gets a boost to half of her husband's benefit, which in our case is $1,000. One big problem though. The wife can only receive this boost if the husband has begun taking his Social Security benefit. There are many reasons why the husband may not take his benefit early, one of those being that he's still working. So here's what happens and what the problem is. The wife begins taking her benefit before the husband begins his. Once he begins his benefit some years later, most people assume that the administration automatically adjusts your benefit to take advantage of the spousal benefit. Unfortunately, they don't always do so. There are too many stories of people in their 80s who have not been receiving their spousal benefit when they otherwise should have, and there's almost nothing you can do about those foregone dollars. Look into this to make sure you are receiving what you're entitled to. Second costly mistake is both people taking their benefits too early. I get it. Being able to increase your income with 2 Social Security checks when you turn 62 is nice. However, I do think this is short-sighted. Even if you have a family history of dying young, say around 70, the data shows that at least one person in a couple has a good chance of living a long time. Look at this chart from JP Morgan. If you are 65 and both non-smokers, there's a 73% chance that at least one person lives until age 90. And it's nearly a coin toss, 50-50, as to whether one of you lives until age 95. It can be wise for the husband to delay receiving Social Security until 70. Not only do they receive the massive bump in benefits, but once he dies first, which is statistically more likely, the wife now receives the husband's better benefit in lieu of their own until she dies. If you both take it early, you are potentially hurting future you. The third costly mistake is working while receiving benefits. This is something many don't know about, but if you work a job before reaching your full retirement age, which is typically around 67 years old, the Social Security Administration will withhold some, if not all, of your benefit. That's right, you essentially lose your benefit. This is the US government's way of incentivizing people to continue working. Without going into too much detail, the basic formula is that you lose $1 in benefit for every $2 earned over $22,320 in the year 2024. You technically don't lose the money forever. Your monthly benefit once you hit full retirement age will increase to try and account for these losses, but you miss out on something very important: the annual boost in Social Security benefits you would have earned from waiting, otherwise known as the delayed retirement credits. This is why planning is important. Obtaining those delayed retirement credits is essential, especially if you'd be losing out on the Social Security benefits anyway due to your earnings. Waiting until age 70 can more than double your retirement check from Social Security versus taking it early at 62. It's a big difference. Ultimately though, each person has a different retirement situation. They may need to do one of the things to survive, such as both spouses taking their checks early at 62, but many, unfortunately, simply make these mistakes because they don't know otherwise. I'm John Dannenbring, owner of Alpha Omega Wealth Management and a university personal finance lecturer. I help people minimize their lifetime taxes and maximize retirement. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you found this video helpful and want to see more content like it, subscribe and turn on notifications. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section and I'll get to replying.